Well, this is one of my earliest ever synths. Like I said earlier, I'm forever getting it fixed because it does tend to work for about a month, and then it's got a mind of its own and says, "Oh, I've retired." Don't you know? I keep telling her, but it's here it's here because I love it. Basically, it's a fantastic quirky old synth, but it is quirky enough. I probably could have bought 12 of them by the amount of money I'd spent on it. But sometimes it's not working at the moment. I tried to actually fix it yesterday, but I've got to get my man to look at it again. But that is one of my very earliest ever since I bought. This is a fairly new kid on the block, which is okay. It's good. It's I don't know. I don't tend to maybe I haven't got my head around it so much, but it's you can still, when you're on the filters and things. For me, it's not smooth enough for my liking. The transition is still, you can still hear it, but it's good for if you're not fiddling around with it. It's got some nice sounds in it, and it is got its own sound. Um, this is my favourite. Sort of most sort of had this about 2 or 3 years now. This is fantastic. This just the Andromeda. It just seems to fit whatever track you're doing. You find a sound. It just seems to really fit in there. This is featured quite a lot on the new album. It just seems to get sounds on there that cut through, and it's great to audio what you got and then process it audio wise as well. Now this is another old little baby of mine. I got with me and my brother and sort of shared the equipment. And like I said earlier, he did end up buying quite a lot of equipment over the years, whereas I spent my money on my children. His children were buying synths. It's a bit dusty, but this is a real favourite of mine. It needs a power supply at the moment because we lost it live just recently. So they always seem to go monkeys. This one, I'm not so sure about this one. It's got a quirky sort of. It's got another different sort of sound altogether. Really, haven't really used it an awful lot. Don't tend to rush to it, but every now and again, it's like, oh, let's get that up and running and see what we can get out of it. And again, it's probably tend to like find something on it and shove it in the computer and audio it, and then process the audio and cut it up, and then use that rather than let it run on its own. This one will run on its own. That one will run on its own, sequencing. And this is just an old favourite, another old baby I kept, the 808. Don't really use it occasionally, but it's much better than the samples, that's for sure. But yeah, it's just there looking pretty at the moment. The Access Virus, which is, all these synths, that and the Supernova, they've all got their own quirkiness and different sounds to them, really, and that yeah, that I mean, well, I haven't used them for a while actually, to be honest, and it's they don't really, these don't feature, none of this actually features on the new album. It's mostly the Andromeda, really, and we're making a more of a conscious. Like recently, we like the next album. We're going, right. Let's get this stuff up and running again, really, because they have got, you forget what fun you have just twiddling knobs and pushing buttons.
You haven't got to use a mouse.
No, exactly, and it is really good. It is really good fun, and they do sound fat. They really do, and they have got a really good sound to them. And you forget. When you get lost in the computer, you do forget. And I think we've sort of we're addressing that now actually, and going, wait a minute, let's get back to that. Do you remember what fun that was? And this one's Nick's, but that is again, it's fantastic. It really is fantastic. The sound on it. Don't really use that much actually anymore. The Novation drum station, which was like an 808 909 sort of little box, really, but haven't used that for ages. But the pulses we're doing a remix at the moment, and getting some really good sounds coming out of that again, and it is so much fun. It really is. It's our old sampler. Yeah, as you can see, it's not been touched for a long time, but it's just that was another thing that I'd sort of, me and my brother had quite a few of these and went through the whole Emu sort of range when they first came out of samplers. Fantastic.
They were great for the time, weren't they?
Really good.
Absolutely fantastic.
I mean, even good now, really, for the filters on them are really good, and the stuff that you can do on them, and like velocity, velocity to filter was a favourite one of Orbital's, really, where you get actual sort of sound, and that comes from that. But it's good to keep in the studio for the old Orbital tracks, really, and because it's got all the it's what we used to take live, so it's got all the Orbital tracks samples
nice
in them, really. And like with the long range thing, we dragged up an old Orbital track called Remind, which was originally started off as a Orbital remix of Meat Beat Manifesto track, and we ended up liking it so much we took Jack Danger's voice off of it and used it and put it on the Brown album, and we've been playing. So what we do with Long Range, we've reworked it and put Jack Danger's voice back on it. That's our ghost, and put Jack Danger's voice back on it, and it sounds fantastic. And we play that live for a laugh towards the end. It's really good fun, and yeah, and that was really helpful for that. And we were thinking of maybe doing a few other Orbital tracks maybe in the future. Just give them a reworking and stuff like that, and I can see this baby being turned back on, to get all the samples and stuff out of it. So that's pretty much it. Oh, we've got this little baby down here.
The Y1, you must be.
We've got this little. This actually popped its cork a while ago. It did have. Look, it's still got all the chime, one, remind, funny break, bridge. These are all. But it's just being old and. Still turns on, and
is that the one you used throughout the Orbital years?
Yeah, live. Look, you can see all the wear marks of sort of twisting it and all the sweaty clubs that it's been.
Well, leave the sticker on. You'll get a few quid for that.
Yeah, no, I'll never sell it. I've left it to one of my boys. Actually,
Have you?
Will. I really have. Yeah.
It's a good job I nick it then, isn't it?
And but it did pop its cork the other day, and it lost all the sequencing stuff for all these tracks on it, which is a bit of a shame. But I've got them written down somewhere, and in a homemade fashioned way of writing down the sequencing information for these things.
So surely someone at Rowan watching can fix that, and then
yeah, I don't know, maybe I doubt it. 3 bits of kit though. I'd take the Andromeda. I'd take the Andromeda, the 101, and
what's it going to be from the rack?
Yeah. Probably if I was on a desert island, probably
The generator.
yeah, a generator. Probably it's a toss between. I'd probably have to take sampler really if I wasn't allowed the computer. It'd have to be a sampler, wouldn't it?
good answer.
Really.
My favourite box of the moment is a 19-inch English 4.5U box built by Cyril from Rainduck. He did make some very good mixing consoles in the late 90s, early 2000s. In there's 4 of his RN4 modules, which just sound amazing. Great bottom end, really nice sort of fizzy top end. He's modded it. They've got limiters on each channel, so he's actually modded it. So I've got a switch. There's 48 volt phantom power pads, yeah, and with 4 SSL 542 modules in out of I think an old G series desk. One really nice top end. Bottom end's a bit woolly, but yeah, great top end. And then we've got in here an Apogee Big Ben, which is running the clock for all the studio. Everything's clocked to it via word clock. And we've got a Rosetta 2000 that we record all our stereo masters into. Everything goes through it basically. And then we've got our Motu mix up an HD192, 1224, two 2408. That all, because we mix out of all channels, so that all comes out through the desk. Got a TCM 5000, which has got a couple of grey reverbs in it.
How do you think the M5000 compares to, you know, software effects?
Oh, it's different class, really. I think, you know, the M6000 that they do, the bigger one than that, is amazing. I think, yeah, I think, you know, the Eventide stuff. If you can afford to buy outboard effects units, then, you know, I'm a firm believer that you can't get, even in Pro Tools, you can't get mixes sounding like you can on big desks with outboard effects and outboard compression.
It's funny you mentioned Eventide because, yeah, for sure, you listen to one of those boxes, they
Yeah.
just sprinkle a bit of magic on top.
I
of
know.
it, yeah.
About £8 aren't they? Yeah. So Mr. Eventide, if you're there, we'd like one. But yeah. So no.
Fireworks is quite a similar proposition.
Yeah, the Fireworks is great. It's got some great sort of delays in it, and the way you can sort of, you know, you get your sort of modulation. I don't know what they call it, but the routing, and you can sort of insert different, you know, your dynamics or your reverbs or your delays. Or I think it's got all your pitch. You can insert it different ways, so that you can get some really good creative stuff out of that. This is an Allen Smart C1 compressor. Great. I used it as a stereo bus compressor before we got the XL Logic and one, which was nice. This is the Ridge Farm boiler, designed by a guy called Pom Margron, who's a good friend of mine. Sounds great, really gritty, eats stuff like there's no tomorrow. And this we don't use much anymore, but it does give it a nice, you know, it's a vacuum preamp, tube preamp, and it sounds nice. And this DBX 160 is great on kick drums, snares, really snappy, aggressive.